Hi guys, just a short video on a tabletop I'm making. I've just bought one of the Lagun, I think they call it, legs for the campervan, and I wanted to make a new top for the table leg. So what I've done a top. I've measured it to the size I need, and I've cut this bit of ply up. It's just a piece of 18mm ply, and I've sprayed it black and give it a bit of a wet and dry, just to, you can see where there's a few low spots there, but that shouldn't really matter. And what I've done, I've ordered myself a stick-on decal of the UK to go on the top of there, and then I'm going to epoxy resin over the top of it. So I just thought I'd take you along and show you how I do it. I haven't never done this before, but I've watched a few videos on it, and hopefully it'll turn out okay. So I've prepared the ply top. Like I said, 18mm ply. It's a good marine ply I've used, like a hardwood ply, not just some cheap shuttering ply. I give it plenty of coats of black spray, wet and dried it to make it all nice and smooth and equal. So it's ready for the sticker to go on now, so I'll get back to you when I'm doing that. Right guys, I've just come into the house for this because I want to use the wife's iron. Well, she's at work. What I want to do, I got this iron-on edging trim, and I want to put that all around the edge of the table. I'm gonna do it so it's 3mm higher, so when I pour the epoxy resin over the table, it gives me that 3mm lip to fill up to, so it contains all the epoxy resin within the top and it doesn't spill over. So I've got an old number plate here, which is 3mm thick, and I'm just going to put the trim on and iron it up and put the trim level with the top of this number plate. So I should have an equal 3mm lip all the way around the top of the table. This edging trim is a lot thicker than the table, so there'll probably be a bit sticking out underneath as well, which I'll trim off flat, but the top one will be 3mm proud to stop the epoxy running over. So I'm going to get that edging trim on now, and I'll get back to you in a minute. Right, I've managed to get that on, the edging strip. What a fiddly job, as you can see there. Focus, come on. There you go. So I've got it roughly 3mm all the way around, but once my epoxy's gone on and set off, I might have to just trim or sand the top of that just to make it all nice and equal. Like I said, I've never done this before, so I'm hoping this is going to work, but it's the only thing I could really think of. I was going to put a wooden surround on here, but obviously I wanted to do the corners of the table, so, but it gives it a nice edge as well, so we'll see how it goes anyway. Right, now that's all ready. I've placed it on the side, and I'm making sure that it's totally level, so when I pour the epoxy, it gives me a good level and it doesn't all run to one end. And what I've done, I've cut these little bits of wood here, 4 of them, and I've got this as a cover. So once it's all done, I'm going to cover it over. I've cleaned all my workshop up, wiped it all down, hoovered all the sawdust up, just to make sure it's as clean as possible in here for when I pour the epoxy. I've made myself some little stirring sticks ready for the epoxy. I've got everything ready now, so I've just got to stick my map on and then mix my epoxy. Before I do go ahead and do this, I'll get the hoover out and hoover everything, make sure there's no dust around, make sure there's no dust in the air. So basically now, and like I said, everything's level there now, so we are ready to actually stick the map on now. Right, I've just put my map onto the tabletop. It's still got the film on the top. There was a paper backing, so that film needs to be peeled off. But before it does, I've got this little, like an edging roller. I'm going to go over this and make sure it's all stuck down well before I peel the topping paper off. So I'm going to peel that topping paper off. I'll have to come back to you because I need two hands to do this and I haven't got a tripod. Right, I've taken the film off and I've got all that stuck down now. I've rechecked my level both ways. The epoxy resin I've got, I'll show you now. This is the resin and this is the hardener, and it's a 1-to-1 mix. So mixing both of them will make, well, I think it's 1 kilo. Yeah, 1 kilo. So they're both half a kilo. So that should be more than enough to do that job, to give me a 3mm thickness on the tabletop. So I'm just waiting for the workshop to warm up a little bit at the moment. The bottom one, 18.4, is inside. It's actually 19.1 outside. So we've got to get it up to about 21 degrees in here or more for the epoxy to do its job. We've got the little heater on at the moment. So I'm going to just give this another clean down, make sure there's no bits on it before I start mixing the epoxy. Right, I've managed to wedge the camera there. I'm just mixing the epoxy up now. I've give that a good mix up. So I'm going to start to pour. Like I said, I've never done this before, so I'm hoping that sticker will stay down. We are at the right temperature in here now. Just get all we can into the pot. Right, just put that to one side. Right, I've got this, it's just a piece of like plastic. So what I'm going to start doing now is pushing it towards the edges. Got a few bubbles in there, but I'll get them out now in a minute. I believe they say there's like a 30-minute working time with this, so plenty of time to play around with it, getting it all into the edges and the corners. I think they said it takes about 18 hours for it to set off. So that's looking pretty good. Just making sure it's into all the corners. It's looking pretty good. Right. Now, what they say, just going to go over it lightly just to remove some of the bubbles. Which it is doing. But yeah. The bubbles are quite hard to show up on this black. Gonna try and get it in the right light. That's looking pretty good to me. So I'm gonna let that dry now overnight. I've got a cover to put over it now, so I'll cover that to stop any dust going onto it. And that looks good to me. And what I'll do is I'll get this all sorted now, and I'll and fit it into the van. And then I'll show you what it looks like once it's all fitted into the van. Thanks Right, I've left that for 48 hours. That hasn't turned out too bad. There's a few little, I don't know if you can see it. You can just see it there, got a few little like ripples in it. Quite hard to see though, it's not, it hasn't turned out perfect, but I think it's good enough for a tabletop for in the camper van. Quite pleased with it. All I've got to do, obviously I come up a little bit higher on some of these sides than the 3mm I wanted to, because it was quite awkward to put on. But as you can see on this edge here, it's gone up lovely. So what I'm going to have to do is get some sandpaper and sand that edge down to make it all level all the way around, and it should be ready to fit into the van. So all in all, I'm quite pleased with that. It's got quite a good sheen on it, as you can see the reflections there in it. Quite a nice little table. The reason why we went for the yellow was because in the van we've got yellow cushions, and we've got a yellow check pattern on the seats itself, which I'll show you when this is all put into the van. So we just thought it had a bit of a splash of a colour into the van. So I'm going to get these edges done now, and we'll get it into the van and see what it looks like. Right, as you guys can see, that's the Lagun leg. And there's my tabletop. Shut down a minute. A bit of dust on there. We've got this in between the, I've got a seat here, and I've got a bench seat there behind the seats. And what I did have before was, if you look under this mat, you can see where I had a base for a table, and we used to put the table up, and my wife would sit there and I would sit here, and we'd have the table in between us like this. But that meant that we had to take the table down to get in and out. So this is why I've gone for this Lagun leg, because now that can actually just swivel behind the passenger seat, and we still got access to the side door. But yes, that's all the table in and all done. Well pleased with that. Thanks for watching, guys. Please give me a thumbs up. Thank you.